Alright, hello everybody, my name is Baba, as you might know, but if you're seeing my videos first time, I'm the founder of Amrita Mandala method and have been a full-time teacher of Tantra and Great Perfection teachings, Dzogchen teachings now for almost 17 years. For a long time I was contemplating whether to begin making YouTubes about Tantra and Tantric yoga, Buddhist Tantra and Hindu Tantra, and I contemplated it for a good few years. And then some time ago, when I started to make YouTubes of revitalized Zen, I felt that now it's time to start making these Tantric tubes as well. So here we are, and I will post these Baba's Tantric tubes to both Amrita Mandala YouTube channel as well as Lion-Faced Guru podcast YouTube channel. Lion-Faced Guru podcast is a podcast of our own Sangha that you can find from YouTube. We have lots of episodes there. So if Lion-Faced Guru podcast is new for you, check it out. And vice versa. If Amrita Mandala is new for you, check that out too. I wanted to make this first Tantric tube about something that I can't remember exactly. I started practicing doing formal Dharma practice, meditation practice in January of 2003 and had been, trying different meditations for many years, going to meditation meetings here and there for many years, but started practicing in 2003. But I think that I learned about rainbow body, also known as Lightbody or body of light, before that. I have a vague memory that I probably had read Sogyal's The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, maybe in the late 90s, something like that, or I read about the rainbow body from Dalai Lama's book in the late 90s or something like that in my late teens. But anyhow, I remember reading about that. I wasn't even a practitioner yet, and I read about rainbow body, and it kind of, sometimes when you read a Dharma book, a spiritual book, some terms or sentences, they kind of pop out, kind of jump at you from the pages of the book. And that exactly happened when I learned and read about rainbow body the first time. So now it's been almost 30 years later and I'm still working on it, still practicing, still working on my rainbow body, light body, trying to reveal it. But this has been the motivation for me throughout my entire career as a practitioner and as well as a teacher. So quite a few years have passed since then. So I kind of wanted to, now that I'm starting to make these Tantric tubes, I started to start from the end, kind of start from where the whole practice and path leads to. And not only in the case of Amrita Mandala, but in the case of Mahayana Dharma as well as Vajrayana Dharma. So I might be using some Sanskrit terms and other terms. Please use Google, so that I'm kind of not explaining everything, because these terms can be easily figured out, And I also don't want these videos to get too long. So that's why I'm not gonna explain everything. Yeah, so I wanted to begin these tubes by starting from the end result, rainbow body or light body. And I wanted to explain what that exactly is. I have discussed this matter, light body, both in Lionface Guru podcast and more recently on the Body of Light documentary made by Nicholas Elumen. You can find Body of Light documentary episodes from YouTube as well, from Nicholas's YouTube channel. And you know, personally to me, my practice, and I taught based on my own practice, my own experiences, it has been like a working hypothesis, kind of like a project that work in progress, let's put it that way. And I have made this clear throughout my teaching career, and also when I've spoken about light body and my understanding of it during the recent years, I've made it clear that I'm speaking about my understanding and my experience at that present moment. But I think that kind of like the, how do you say, like the final push to start making these Baba's Tantric tubes is now when I feel that now I have a full picture of rainbow body or light body, and I wanted to present it in this little video, hopefully for the benefit of many, for the benefit of all beings. So first of all Dharma practice, maybe a bit more widely you could say, all meditation practice, all spiritual practice is about establishing absolute in relative. So we have three bodies, like I have explained in so many podcasts and so many teachings over the years. We have three bodies: causal body, astral body, and physical body. And we're simply, at first we're strangers to this absolute nature of ours. Call it God, call it Buddha nature, call it Krishna consciousness. We are first strangers to this absolute. If we weren't strangers, we wouldn't be confused about who we are and what is our purpose. So the whole spiritual path and the path of enlightenment is about establishing absolute in relative, realizing absolute within these three bodies of ours. So when we think of the three bodies, causal, astral, and physical, it's absolute, our basic nature, Buddha nature, basic awareness. It's mixed. It's all over these three bodies. And what we are doing with practice is that we are gradually recognizing that it is there, discovering that it is there, and then gradually establishing it in causal body, astral body, and physical body. And when it has been established in all three, then we are talking about somebody, an individual, a practitioner who has realized the full rainbow body. So when we talk about establishing of absolute in relative, we can talk enlightenment in three stages. One-fold enlightenment would be the realization of selflessness, or in Buddhist terms, emptiness of all phenomena. One-fold enlightenment. Twofold enlightenment would be to establish the absolute in causal body and astral body. I've spoken about astral body on countless videos and podcasts, so I'm not going to explain what the astral body is. So please check other videos. So onefold enlightenment, twofold enlightenment, and threefold enlightenment would be also establishing the absolute in the grossest of these three relative bodies, the physical body and its physical tissues. And this would result in, when somebody who has reached this threefold enlightenment, when somebody like that passes away, the physical body at death disappears. And there are stories of this from Tantric masters, both Buddhists, Hindus, Taoists, even Zen Buddhist masters. There are stories about this. And this has happened, I'm not sure, you know, I don't know everything that happens everywhere in the world, but Father Francis Tissot, who was, by the way, also interviewed in that Body of Light documentary, he wrote a book, Rainbow Body and Resurrection, I believe it's the title, where he presented the case of Khenpo Ache, who was a Tibetan yogi lama who demonstrated full rainbow body in 1998, when he, you can't really say died or passed away, but let's say, maybe you can say transitioned, left his physical body. So he didn't leave any physical remains. And as far as I know, that's the most recent full rainbow body. There probably have been others, but one example from full rainbow body from 1987 is a Taoist immortal Dushin Lin, who at the age of 115 years old, in, I can't remember the name of the temple, but in Beijing, China, he disappeared into red light in front of 100 or so people, including government officials, and he just disappeared. Poof. Not literally like poof, like that. It's not a magic trick. It takes a moment for the light of the absolute to appear, and then the body kind of disappears or dissolves into that light. So yeah, quite recent, 1998, 1987, full rainbow bodies. So it happens. And I think that when, let's say, Western practitioners get a bit more mileage and understanding about this, it will become something that happens quite regularly, and kind of becomes more common. And by the way, it's interesting to think that, you know, in his book, Father Tissot, in Rainbow Body and Resurrection, he, you know, he's a Catholic priest, and he, of course, began this process of studying the Tantric rainbow body or Tibetan rainbow body because of Jesus's example 2000 years ago. So resurrection, rainbow body, same thing. So yeah, when these three bodies are established in the absolute, then we are talking about full rainbow body, or what we can see as an external display of the physical body completely disappearing at death. And then there is the small rainbow body, which means that when a highly advanced, highly realized yogi or yogini passes away but hasn't established the physical body and its physical tissues in the absolute completely, then the corpse shrinks. And here we are talking about the shrinking of the skeleton. Skeleton meaning skull and the whole skeleton, the bone structure of the body. So we are not talking about, what happens during the first few days when somebody passes away, is that the liquids, water, water evaporates from the body. We are not talking about that shrinking. We are talking about shrinking of the whole skeleton and skull included. So yeah, the difference between full rainbow body and small rainbow body is whether the physical tissues have been established in the absolute nature completely or partially. That's the difference. And then something that is quite commonly, kind of surprisingly commonly confused as a rainbow body phenomenon is what the Tibetan Buddhists call Tukdam. Tukdam. Can't remember what Tukdam is in Sanskrit, but if you check out Tukdam, Tukdam, you can find out what's that about. And Tukdam is quite common when Tibetan lamas and also others, like when Hindu swamis and Hindu babas, when they pass away, they sit in cross-legged posture, and then for several days there can be warmth in the body, in the warmth in the heart, and also the soft tissue doesn't harden, so a rigor mortis doesn't kick in. So this is Tukdam. But Tukdam is not a rainbow body phenomenon. So what happens in Tukdam is that somebody who is in Tukdam doesn't necessarily have attained one-fold or two-fold enlightenment, could be very advanced in both causal body purification and astral body purification, but might not have necessarily finished the two subtle bodies. But the reason why nothing really happens to the physical body apart from, the usual signs of, when a common human non-practitioner pass away, the body immediately starts hardening, rigor mortis, and becomes cold. So Tukdam is a sign of like a practitioner who dies in a yogic manner, but this has nothing to do with rainbow body, full rainbow body or small rainbow body. So that's what threefold enlightenment, according to the three bodies that all human beings have, what it means and what rainbow body, light body means. I started to make these revitalized YouTubes a couple of months ago, and like I said, I've enjoyed it a lot, but I realized that the episodes got a bit too long, perhaps. Some episodes became like 45 minutes long, and I think that's a bit too long. So I kind of tried to make this first Tantric tube a little bit more condensed. I don't know if that's good or not, but anyway, so now this Tantric tube project has already begun. Thank you for listening. It is annoying when YouTubers say that, press like and leave a comment and share, but nevertheless I would ask you to do that, because if viewers don't do that, this video will just vanish among, I don't know, 100 billion other videos. So that's why it's important to always hit like button, whether it's my videos or anybody else's. You enjoy watching. So please do that and leave a comment. If you have any topic suggestions or questions you would like to ask me, you can write a comment. And what you can also find below from the information field is upcoming events, practice events, retreats with me in Amrita Mandala. You can find Amrita Mandala website link, so do check them out. And also you can find a way how to donate to me to support my work, to be able to do this among other things. So thank you very much everybody, and I'll be dropping another video when I have a moment to make it and a topic to make it about. All right, thank you very much. Cheers.